Shalom all, Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacey style. And I'm so excited. This is going to be the second video in a series of books that I got in a big lot, a big box. It was kind of like a grab bag. On eBay, and you can check out the first one that I did, which was on the Shakespearean tarot. Definitely a really cool deck to have for my collection. And today we're going to explore the After Tarot, Tarot One Moment After. Now, I know that this has been out for a while. This is a Lo Scarabeo. There are probably 1,000,001 reviews on this particular deck, but you know, I'm a little late to the game, and I'm just kind of excited about this. I have looked at the Before Tarot multiple times and never actually pulled the trigger to buy it. I do have the In Between Tarot, which is a deck that I have a lot of desire to work with and connect with, but have not yet, for whatever reason, made time to work on it and work through it. But I think I'm feeling a little bit like if I have the Before Tarot, the After Tarot, and the In Between, now I've got the full set. And now I can, sort of play around with it in my little Virgo brain. It makes sense. So when I saw that this After Tarot was an unopened, brand new edition that was kind of thrown into this grab box of tarot, I thought, yep, we're going to do this. Even the money that I paid, I paid like $100, I think, for for 8 tarot decks. And I would say the money that I paid for 3 of them would have been worth this pull. So let's check out the After Tarot. And as you can see, it's a bigger box. I love this. What will happen to the Arcana you know? One moment in the future. This is Pietro Aligo, Corinne Kenner, Giulia Francesca Mazzalia. Very, very cool. I just think the concept is incredible, and it is a Lo Scarabeo. So whenever you're dealing with a Lo Scarabeo, you're always going to have quality. Definitely going to have quality. So we're opening it up, and we're going to see what it's all about. I have no idea how old it is, so I'll have to just kind of check out the... Oh, that's great. It's a magnetic box. Loving that. It's huge. Oh, and look, we've got a big picture of the moon on the inside cover. And she is... It's like Red Riding Hood almost. So you've got the moon, you've got the dog, the wolf, the lobster, but she's turning around. It's like she's turning away from the moon. Interesting. All right. So Afterthoughts, the guide to the After Tarot, Corinne Kenner. I love this little kitty cat that's loving up on her leg, because that's just such a cat thing to do. So it's a little bit warped here, a little bit damaged. It is printed in March 2022. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's not an older deck. It's a newer deck. And so we've got a little bit of information about the artist. We've got the big pictures. Just one big picture here. Introducing section 1, Tarot Basics. They've got, looks like a little breakdown chart. Spreads to do, kind of how to work with the deck. I want to see if it's all in English or if it's like a typical Lo Scarabeo and it's different languaging. No, it looks like it's all in English. Interesting. So it goes in depth with each of the cards. I kind of like that. So it does one page where it shows a large cross section of the cards, but it's not giving you a picture for each of the card entries. Very interesting. Oh, it has a conclusion. All right. Well, that's definitely a book to check out. So we have the insert with the ribbon. It comes in a nice... I actually don't like this when they do the saran wrap around it. I prefer a band. But we'll see. I don't have my little opener with me. So we'll see if my nails can open this up, folks. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to see if I have a pen somewhere. Okay, we're back. So I love this. Lo Scarabeo, Tools for a Spiritual Journey with Tarosophy. Just love that. It's just such a great name. So let's see if we can cut open. This is why I don't like the shrink wrap, because it can damage the cards when you're trying to open it, versus the band, you just slide it right off. Especially when it's like a box within a box, or, you know, the cards are well protected. But we'll get there. Here we go. Okay, so here's the After Tarot, Lo Scarabeo. It's a little bit longer than a traditional tarot, but definitely the width is the same. Excellent card stock. I want to say very much a Lo Scarabeo type card stock, kind of like US Games type energy. Ooh, this is pretty. Here's the backs of the cards. Loving this. We've got lilies, roses, and a beautiful sort of cross pendant in the center of it. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's check it out. So they're bordered, very much that traditional Rider-Waite-Smith style. And let's see it. So the Fool normally is standing on the cliff. Now he's dangling off of it, and he's still not a care in the world. He's sniffing the rose. He's very content to be doing what he's doing. He's not even paying attention to the fact that his satchel is falling. And the dog is like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? I don't know if I want to follow you there. How do we handle this? Right? So that's kind of interesting. The Fool, it shows the Fool's naivete. The Magician. Let's check out the Magician here. So what is different here? We've got a bird on the table. He's still got his hands up and down. The sword is up. Maybe the order of all of the elements has been shifted. But honestly, I'm not seeing a ton that is really different here. I'm noticing the snake around his waist, but I'm not really noticing. So this is one moment after. I feel like he's just still in the process of conjuring. Here we have the High Priestess. All right, what's different for her? So the moon is in her dress, which is kind of like that watery energy. She's holding the keys in her hand, and it looks like she's almost trying to like unfold the scroll. The Empress, let's see what's different about her. So she's looking pretty calm, cool, and collected. I'm noticing that the Swan is talking to her little ducklings, or her little swanlings, goslings, I think is what they're called. But not a ton that has changed there. Let's see the Emperor. So he's holding the sphere, he's holding his scepter. I feel like the ram has actually been called to attention. The ram is looking up. You know, who's here? What's going on? There's some movement. I feel like the Emperor, even his legs are shifting. Maybe he's getting ready to step into action. The Hierophant, the book is open. He's showing the book to his prostrators. The keys are still here. He is still in ritual, but I feel like now he's kind of sharing it with others. The Lovers. So not feeling a ton that's shifted here. Other than that, Adam is about to take the apple. So it's that, you know, sort of the old school depiction of Adam and Eve. The Chariot. So his wand is down. He's about to give an order. He's speaking from his chest. He's about to give an order. He is moving. He's getting ready to move. The sphinxes, rather than sitting calmly, they are in motion. So there's definitely movement that has happened here. The Strength card, she's hugging her lion. So yes, I would say this is like after, you know, prying open the mouth, now it's hugging the lion, showing the affection that they have for one another, the trust that they've built up. Here's the Hermit, and the Hermit has a dog with him, and his staff is a snake. And we don't normally see that. Normally it's an actual staff. So I feel that's interesting. He's exploring, I would say he's exploring the energy of healing. He's exploring his own healing gifts. And he does have a companion. It's just not a human companion. The Wheel of Fortune. So I'm noticing that these two figures are reading books. These two figures are also reading books. I feel like there might be something different in the wheel as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's the way that it is turned. And the Sphinx is holding the sword, getting ready to, kind of pick and choose, I feel. Here we have the Justice card. Interesting. So we are seeing, normally we don't see two figures in the Justice card. We normally just see Lady Justice herself. But what I'm seeing here, we have a king and a beggar, or we have a lord and a beggar. So clearly there's a dispute, and justice has to determine who wins, who is right. The Hanged Man. So now we are seeing someone giving the Hanged Man water. This could be a friend, this could be a stranger, but definitely somebody that recognizes the struggle and says, let me help you out. Let me at least release some of the burden. Here's the Death card. So the king is dead. Long live the king. You've got someone. So the child, actually, it looks like the child is gone too. And you're seeing the woman crying over this loss, crying over the deaths. Very sad. Wow, this makes me very sad. This card depiction. I can handle the king, dying. Long live the king. Not sure why the child is dying. That's not liking that too much. Not gonna lie. Temperance. So here we have the alchemist, and still 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. But now, instead of like pouring the water into the cups, now there is a bird that is flying out of the cup. The devil, it's like he's pledging something to himself. Oh, and we have the two individuals who are usually chained, imprisoned, whatever. Now they are, connecting with each other, and the devil's kind of like, oh boy, nothing to see here. Move along. Nothing to see here. That's funny. The Tower. Let's see what's different about the Tower. So the people have fallen to the ground. They've landed. The crown is still following. One crown has fallen. One crown is still in midair. The two different kinds of fires. The tower has shattered in the center, in the middle. So when that happens, like, there's no going back. The bats in the belfry are flying out. You've got a lot of lightning that is still striking. Clouds, smoke. Very interesting. The Star card. So now she's fully in the water here. She is taken both of those jugs. She's washing herself. She's given back to the land. She's not even really paying attention to the starlight. I feel like she's just bathing in the starlight. The Moon. All right. So this was the one that I had mentioned, I think was on the cover of the, or something that I had looked at here. So let's take a look. So normally she's walking towards the moon. Here she's walking away from the moon. It's like she's determined. Maybe she's come from over here and she's walking through these two pillars, and this is the beginning of her journey. You never know. The Sun. Oh my goodness. So the two kids that are playing, and the one is moving forward and the other one's like, no, don't go away. We've got to do it this way. We've got to do it this way. Let's not get out of having the fun. Here's the Judgment card. So you're seeing the sort of the dead bones or the dead bodies, but you're also seeing humans. Now, we could see them as being dropped in, or we can see them as being raised up, depending on how you look at it. But definitely there's an answering of the call. The World card. Let's see what this is about. So what is different about the world? I'm not really noticing much of anything. Ace of Cups. Oh, interesting. So the dove has like a pentacle in its mouth. There's a heart in your hand. And we have an overflowing of the cup. Two of Cups. So the couple, instead of looking at each other now, they're hugging each other. They're comforting each other. The cat is in the mix here. So, there's definitely a family type intimacy here, friendship, deeper relationship intimacy. Okay, so here's the celebration that is happening. And so I feel like what you're seeing 1 minute after is they're all jumping off the ground. So instead of just, dancing, they're literally all leaping together. Kind of a collaborative energy here. Okay, so the Four of Cups, he took the new cup and he's pouring it out. He's like, thanks for nothing. I don't care what you're giving me. I wanted these three things and you gave me something else and I don't want it, so I'm going to waste it. Five of Cups. So interesting. Here we're seeing like blood as well as water. Yes, it could be wine, but I'm hearing blood. There's a person in the river that's crying out for help. And I feel like he's ignoring them. He's so focused on what has been lost that he's not looking at what he might be able to gain or how he might be able to assist. Six of Cups. So in this version, we have a person over here that's walking away. We also have another person who's calling the kids in, maybe for lunch or for dinner. Time to come in now. Enough playtime. Go wash up for dinner. Seven of Cups. He's chosen a couple of different things. He's emptied 2 cups. So he's chosen the jewels and he's chosen the snake. Snake can be knowledge, can be transformation. It can be healing. And so clearly this guy is like, ooh, he's focused on the jewels because in his mind, I have all of these things. I'm going to be able to, live large and in charge. I'm going to be rich. But I also have this snake wrapped around me in the event that I need some healing or how this is going to transform me. I need to be educated on that. 8 of Cups. So lots of stuff being spilt here. And here she's actually looking into the cup. And we have the person who's walking away following on a new path. So it's like this person chose to walk away and this person is now coming after saying, oh, one person's trash is another person's treasure. What is this? 9 of Cups. So often thought of as the greedy merchant. I always say wishes fulfilled. And here the guy's got dinner. The guy, he's got a servant that's serving him this really big dinner. He's getting like a whole chicken to himself, 2 big fat potatoes, and a ton of, whatever else is there. What's interesting is the servant looks like he's a bit burdened. It's like it's heavy, but this guy just doesn't even pay attention. He's just like, oh, yay, let me just pick on this and pick on that. And the guy's like, okay, I'm going to try to hang on. So I feel like it's an invitation to read the room, be aware of your surroundings. Here's the 10 of Cups. Oh, I love that it's a bonfire. We have the kitty cat. We've got the 2 kids. We've got, I don't want to say mother and father, but like a male and a female. We've got an older gentleman, which is interesting because that's typically what you would expect for the 10 of Pentacles. But here it's showing up in the cups. So, Page of Cups. The fish has jumped out of the cup. I like that. So this could be like you missed your window because he looks a little sad. He looks a little surprised. But it could also be the fish is saying, hey, follow me. I got something to show you. Knight of Cups. Oh, he's taking a pause to drink from the brook. Queen of Cups. So she's got a top of I forget what that's called. It's a T word. She's pulling a fish out of the center of the cup. So either she's pulling the fish out or she's putting the fish in. And maybe this is her dinner. Maybe this is something that she's going to be bringing. There's another fish right over here by her feet. So she's looking really calm, but she's definitely engaged in a particular activity for a particular reason. King of Cups. Oh, interesting. Here he's replenishing the water. He's pouring back into his ocean of emotion. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, interesting. This is a beetle. Beetles symbolize transformation as well. Resources, reusing resources for various things. I love this. That's very, very pretty. I like that one. Two of Pentacles. So now we're seeing the back of him, and it's almost like he's trying to get people who've just landed on shore. He's trying to get their attention, probably because he wants to make a little money. Or maybe he's there to kind of help them to, with resources. They're new to the area. So, here's who I am, and here's how you can recognize me, and how can I help you? Where can I lead you? Here we have the Three of Pentacles, and what you're seeing here is the gentleman standing here, looking at the beautiful work that's been done. And then you've got someone here, he's colorless, right? He's black and white. So I feel like he's the one who's still doing the work. And he's the one who I want to say is kind of admiring the work. We could also say this is a statue, and he's recognizing the statue and how full and plenty it is when there's help. But I kind of feel like this is a, full of life, lifeless, or too much work and maybe not enough. Four of Pentacles. Interesting. We've got kind of the Grim Reaper coming in here with his scythe of death, saying, hey, you're so busy hanging on to what this is that you're not really paying much attention to the rest of the world and what's out there. And do you deserve it? Do you deserve that? If you're not going to live in the world, do you deserve to have all those things and to have all that stuff? Let's switch things up. We're going to bring some change into your life to give you some different options. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. So we have a woman here who is struggling like these two, but she's got something. She's got that that pack of wood. But she's not paying attention to these two. And the one person is looking, hoping that she notices them. But I don't know that she's going to actually call out. Maybe she should call out, because maybe this woman would be able to help her. I feel like this is all about communication, being able to speak your truth or being able to ask for help. If you don't ask, sometimes people don't know. Six of Pentacles. So this is that generosity. So what I'm seeing here is, the wealthy merchant has made his choice, and he's giving his goods to this person, but not to these others. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so reaping rewards. He did the work. He picked out the one that's ready to be harvested, and he's closing up shop for the day. Eight of Pentacles. This is that mastery, that work, that effort, the education. And he's just taking a step back. He's putting some final touches on his work, but it's the masterpiece that's been created. He's achieved the mastery of this project. Nine of Pentacles. Oh, she's beautiful. So she's picking some grapes. She's harvesting the grapes. There's a glove on the ground, which is indicating that she wants the tactile experience. She wants the feel of the grapes on her hands. She doesn't want to, maybe she's going to eat the grapes too, and she certainly doesn't want to have whatever's been on the glove to get on there. There's a snail here, which the snail represents that patience and that perseverance, taking things slowly. She looks very happy. There's a lot going on. Oh, I like that card. Here we have the Ten of Pentacles. So we have the older generation represented here, talking to, his daughters, let's say. And then his grandson is here playing with the dog, saying, oh, look, we have a ton of these coins. Let's play Frisbee. Let's play with the coin. Page of Pentacles. Oh, interesting. So normally we just see the page in the card with no other figures involved. But here we have a little, I think the appropriate term here is the little person who is showing up here and saying, hey, I can help you plant that. Let me tell you about that. Do you know what you got in your hand? Do you know the kind of seed that is? Do you know what flowers it's going to plant? I can help you out with that. Knight of Pentacles. Here he is actually examining the work that he's, been tasked with. Like he's being tasked with taking this thing to meet his king. And right now he's just taking a moment to actually look at what is the thing that I'm about to deliver. So being a little more informed in his task. Queen of Pentacles. So here the hare, the rabbit, is in motion, is moving, is going away from her. She's seeing her own reflection in this pentacle, which is new. You don't often see that. So she's paying attention to I want to say the things that she values. She's paying attention to that. And maybe she's evaluating what it is that she values. Is that still a good thing to value? Or is it time to move on to something else? King of Pentacles, interesting. We have a bull. Wow. And he's got his hand on the bull. It's like the bull is bowing in servitude and he's got the pentacle. And it's almost like he's giving him praise. He's giving him the reciprocity for the work that the bull has done for him. So Ace of Wands, we have the salamander. So long life, everlasting life. That's really cool. I like that. So the Ace of Wands is like a gift of, it's a reminder of reincarnation, but it's a gift of the do-over, a gift of long life. Here we have the Two of Wands, and now we have two people, and he's holding the world in his hand, and he's willing to share it with her. Who she is to him, I don't know. I would say they're familiar, they're friendly, because he's touching her elbow. He's guiding her, he's sharing this with her, and he's passing it on. Maybe it's a father-daughter. Maybe it's a husband-wife. Maybe it's two friends. Could be a stranger too, you never know. Three of Wands. So this is all about that expansion energy. And here we have a beautiful bird that is leaving a feather behind for him to work with, for him to use as he is envisioning what can come out of this as a result. He's also waving, like he's reaching up for the feather, but he's also waving to the ships that are either coming in or going out. And there's a lot of growth on those wands. Here we have the Four of Wands. Loving this. It's the guests that are all coming to celebrate the party. Five of Wands. So instead of them being in training or practice or play fighting, they're all taking a rest. And there's one person who kind of has the talking stick and is sharing information. It's kind of like a debriefing. Six of Wands. So here is a little girl who dares to, has the confidence to go up to the conquering hero and to perhaps ask a question. Don't know exactly, can't see the expression on her face. His doesn't look happy, but it doesn't look sad either. It looks neutral. It's almost like he's kind of surprised that she's coming over to speak to him. And he doesn't necessarily know what she wants, but he's paying her attention. Here we have the Seven of Wands, so the card of defense. And you're seeing here that there is some real, I want to say, like this is building up into an argument. This is definitely, I want to say, getting a bit out of hand. 1 against 6. Here we have the Eight of Wands. And what's interesting is all the wands are pointing down and he's shooting an arrow up. So I would say there's a bit of a challenge here in terms of direction. Maybe there's someone is going in one direction and someone is going in another direction. 9 of Wands. Oh, we have 2. So we have 2 wounded warriors because there's blood on this guy's sleeves as well. He's no longer alone. And this guy's coming to him and saying, hey, I can help you out too. Let me bring you another wand. So you don't have to make that trip down the hill again. Here's the 10 of Wands. Okay, so he had the opportunity in the previous card to get help, to let go, to pack light. And he chose not to. And so now he's exhausted and he dropped all of the wands. And now he doesn't have the energy to gather them all up and get started again. So he's having to figure something out. Here's the Page of Wands. So he's walking away from something that I want to say was potential fun. This is a woman who is saying, but hey, where are you going? I offered you some support, or I offered you food at the table. I offered you lodging. You said you were going to do some work for me. Where are you going? And he looks dejected. He's not particularly happy. And that's kind of strange because Page of Wands typically is quite a happy camper. He's excited. He's enthusiastic. So I don't know, maybe he got told no for something, but he's a little unhappy. Knight of Wands, jumping over the Sphinx. So I feel like the knight's journey takes him to really exotic places. Queen of Wands, the cat's speaking to her. I love it. The cat's also actually looking at the lizard, kind of going, are you lunch? Is everlasting life lunch? Should I bat at your tail? King of Wands. So he's got the salamander, the lizard in his hand. The wand is growing with beautiful morning glories here as well. I think that's really interesting. We don't normally see that. So the wand is growing. He's looking a little serious. He's looking like a problem has just shown up, and he's not quite sure what direction he wants to take yet, or he's not quite sure this full scope of the situation. Ace of Swords. Oh, we have like a pirate bird here. Very interesting. A falcon. This is a falcon. Falcons are really smart birds. They can be trained. They can go far and wide. They're message deliverers. So I feel like that Ace of Swords, that's really interesting. Two of Swords. So here we have two men battling. So you don't often see that. You just see the two swords crossed and the person who is blindfolded. But what we're witnessing here in this particular card, I want to say, is a very different story than the one that we are often connected to. And it almost feels a bit like there is a kidnapping here and someone is coming to the rescue, but they're both of equal valor and merit and skill level. So the person who is being rescued doesn't know whether this is going to go well for them or not. It's very interesting. Here's our Three of Swords. And the three, I love it. The swords have been removed from the heart and the heart has been bandaged. So there's healing that is taking place. Here is the Four of Swords. And this is the card of rest, truce, relaxation. And now we have this woman who is coming to, this soldier's grave, tomb, or resting place and bringing the flower of life. So it's kind of like this woman's going to wake this prince up. Five of Swords. Not sure I'm seeing what's different in this, other than maybe he's holding three swords instead of two. So maybe he's in the process of picking up the third sword. But he definitely looks like he feels triumphant. Six of Swords. So moving on to calmer shores. So now they've landed. They've arrived at the calmer shore. So you actually see them making it. They're making it. And so there's hope for that next leg of their journey. Here we have the Seven of Swords. So what we're seeing differently here is, yeah, he stole some swords, but he's so focused on what he took, nana, nana, boo-boo, that he's not paying attention to the fact that he's walking right into a trap. He's going to put his foot in the rope, and the rope is going to catch him, and he's going to be caught. So, it's not worth the lie, because the lie always comes out. Eight of Swords. So this is a card of entrapment, and this is someone who is coming by to help her out of her predicament. Liberation. So here, instead of the anxiety and the sadness and the depression, using the words, using the thought to fight the bad guy, to fight the monster. So taking action. Rather than feeling paralyzed by the fear, you're taking action. Here's the Ten of Swords. So two people coming to claim the body of the fallen soldier. Not worried about the other swords. They just have sort of an honoring position, made sure that he's going to be buried with his personal sword, and the rest of the swords are going to remain. Interesting. Page of Swords. So he's got people that are coming along while he's just getting used to practicing and wielding the sword. And the question is, what is he going to do? Is he going to act like, is he going to put the sword away? Oh, hey, good day. How are you? Is he going to act threatening and menacing? Don't get too close, or I'm going to stab you or knife you. Because he's learning, the page is the learner, and he's curious. It's a curious choice what he's going to choose to do with this newfound power that he's learning to wield. Knight of Swords. Okay, so we're actually seeing him in battle. We often see the horse in action, in movement, but we're not quite sure exactly, like, is he just trying to get somewhere fast? Well, here we're seeing, no, he's in battle. He's fighting. Queen of Swords. She's got a beautiful butterfly on the top of her sword. She's got a little spider dangling from a bangle or a bracelet that she's got here. She's looking up. I feel like she's connecting to the transformation that's occurring, and she's paying homage to the air. King of Swords. So he's got the falcon. He's actually got the falcon on his hand. So he is, I want to say, a little distracted, but perhaps he's also taking messages. He's receiving information about the next step or the next stage. He's been waiting for information, and now he's receiving that information. It's interesting that the sword is in the middle of this crown, but he's also wearing a crown. So there are two crowns. It's almost like he's taken over from another king. Perhaps he is victorious in a not so great way. Perhaps he's victorious in a very great way. Very cool. And then we have a special tarot invitation. This is just one of those things where they tell you about tarosophy. Come and join our membership. I can't speak. First day with my new tongue. Okay, so on first, as a first reaction to this deck, some of these pictures don't really, they're not very different to me. So it doesn't really resonate with me in that way. But when the other ones are really different, it stands out to me. And I can totally see myself working with this deck alongside the in-between tarot and the before tarot to get the full picture of what's transpiring. So in true Stacy style, we are going to now pull a deck. We're going to pull a card that is reminiscent of how this deck wants to work with you, if you are called to work with it. Oh, I love it. The Two of Wands. So it's that card of direction. And the card the card deck wants to pass on its information to you, wants to pass on all of the visioning, the potential, the way to go about. Twos are about plans. So it wants to help you to plan out what it is that you're going to be seeking out in your vision. And I feel like it's going to encourage you to work with yourself and source to be able to do so. This is a deck that's going to allow you, I want to say, to go a little bit deeper into your own tarot practice. It's going to connect you a little more spiritually with your particular journey. So it is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, again, the moment after. So it's going to give you a little extra sneak peek, which is just enough to kind of throw the brain off a little bit and allow that intuition to fly free. All right, guys. So that is our After Tarot deck review. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I hope you enjoyed checking out the After Tarot deck with me. Stay tuned for the rest of the decks that I'm going to share with you that came in this beautiful box of 8. Kind of that grab, the randomness of it. Really excited to go through that and share that with you guys. And until we meet again on the next video, have the most amazing one and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.